Hello, story lovers, and welcome back to my channel, Tales with Tasha. Prepare yourself for the rise of a new superhero. When the world looks darkest, sometimes that is when a new hero is born. Today's story is full of intrigue and glorious victory. I am Tasha, and I am a storyteller. I hope you will enjoy the stories on my channel as much as I do. Please, let me know what you think in the comments, and hit that like button if you enjoy the story. Subscribe to never miss one of my videos. Thank you, lovelies. The story this week is again what I would define as PG-ish, so if you are a young wee thing, probably not what you would enjoy, but no darker than your average comic. Don't forget to stay right to the end for beautiful cats posing outrageously for the camera. With that being said, make sure you're sitting comfortably, and let's jump right on in. Nano, Rise of a Superhero by Natasha Duncan Drake. In this town, money speaks louder than justice, louder than decency, louder than just about everything except blood. There are two types of cops. The good guys who only take backhanders to look the other way from certain members of the establishment. The bad guys who take backhanders from anyone and extort money from the poor for protection. You're probably thinking neither of those sound very good, and you'd be right. But around here you learn the system, or you retire. Sometimes that means leaving the force on health grounds. Sometimes that means a bullet in the back. I used to be a good guy. I did my job. Most of the time. Since I was young, I always had an affinity for tech, which came in handy in our technologically connected world. My dad always said it was bordering on supernatural. Until he didn't come home one day. That's why I became a cop. I believe in protect and serve. I just had to play the game, or I would have been 6 feet under a long time ago. I thought my partner Lou was a good guy too, until I saw what I wasn't supposed to see. It was a simple drugs bust, not even our jurisdiction since we were homicide, but we followed a lead from a dead hood to a warehouse. My partner kept telling me we had to call it in, that we shouldn't be there. If I had listened, I would still be ignorant of so much. There was the head of Vice, taking a payout from the lowlifes he was supposed to be bringing in. I went to take pictures with my phone, and that's when my partner of 4 years put a bullet in my brain and in my back. I should have died in that alley, but apparently I have a guardian angel. Turns out the grandma I thought was dead is very much alive and kicking. She also runs one of the biggest crime syndicates on the West Coast. My dad bailed on her when he was 16, but she's been keeping her eye on me. Explains a few times over my career I thought I was dead for sure after stepping on the wrong toes, but an assassin never came knocking. I woke up in the best hospital in the city, connected to a crowd of machines keeping me alive. Seems I had been there a couple of months, and the external machines were a backup for what they'd already put inside me. I don't know how far Grandma's reach stretches, but somehow she got me into a trial program for the very latest tech. They began implanting it once I was stable, rewired my brain for me and bypassed the mushed spinal cord. They'd just been waiting for me to wake up so they could fully turn it on. Don't ask me how it works, I have no clue, but boy has it rocked my world. I'm an honest-to-God cyborg now, if you can believe it. And that gift for tech? Yeah, maybe it was never really normal in the first place. Now it's full-on sci-fi shit. It's like I can see through machines. If it's connected to the mains or Wi-Fi or I touch it, I can get inside. Freaked me out real good the first time I did it. Seeing binary flash behind my eyes and getting up close and personal with the code keeping the heart monitor beeping away beside my bed was weird in the extreme. I was an idiot and blurted out a garbled description of what I was seeing. Luckily, I was so confused it made no sense, and they put it down to the implant in my head, adjusted it a bit, and were satisfied. When it happened again, I kept it to myself. What is really weird is the only tech I can't figure out is what's inside me. It's like it enhances these abilities in me, but it's a mystery. Lou has been visiting me every few days since just after I rejoined the living, and I've been savvy enough to pretend I don't remember a thing about what happened. My traitorous partner is acting as if he cares and isn't just terrified I might recall he was the trigger man. I couldn't talk when I first woke up, could barely move anything until they calibrated my implants, which, although terrifying, I now see as a good thing. By the time I could communicate, I had thought it through and met my grandmother, and was bright enough to realize how to stay alive. The stronger I get and the more used to my implants I become, the more I have control of these powers, I'd guess you'd call them. Screw touchscreens and keyboards. I can make tech do what I want by thinking at it. Passwords, biometrics, all so much junk where I'm concerned. Grandma has only visited a couple of times, but her right-hand man is a regular visitor. His phone was an interesting test for what I've decided to do. Not much useful information. I think it's his public phone, but enough to let me explore. That was yesterday, and if Lou sticks to his usual schedule, he'll be in this morning. I've been thinking, and it's time I take my life back. I'm going to start with my ex-partner. Wow, you look like you stepped out of Vogue, are the first words out of Lou's mouth as he walks in and grins at me. Screw you, is my eloquent response. At least I don't have to sit on the urge to punch him in the face anymore. It was a good thing I couldn't move when he first visited. I'm sitting in the chair next to my bed in clothes my grandmother provided, and yesterday a stylist turned up to help sort out my hair. They had to shave patches of it off for the implants. Now it almost looks like a style choice. My head is cold, I complain, as if that's the biggest thing on my mind. I'll get you a hat, Lou assures me with a laugh. I stick my tongue out at him like the mature adult I am. It's almost like the camaraderie we shared before he tried to kill me. Part of me wishes it wasn't a sham. The other part is already feeling out his phone. It's on the network and open to signals, so I don't need a physical connection to find it. As he holds out a badly wrapped box, I slide into the phone's system and calmly bypass the lock code. It's hard to describe what it's like, because it's as if I'm using a new sense that has always been there, so I learned how to work it a long time ago, but that I haven't had much practice with. I see binary, but it's also images and words and everything it makes up. What's this? I ask, taking the box. It's from the troops at the station, Lou tells me. I told them about you getting out of the hospital soon, and they wanted to get you a gift to commemorate it. I lift an eyebrow at him. Cops are not known for their sentimental gestures. Open it, he says, mouth trying not to twitch into a new grin. The paper is so thin it gives no resistance, and I reveal a box with a very cheap action figure of a cyborg with a police uniform. The laugh that bubbles out of me is a shock even to me. I wasn't sure I'd ever feel genuine amusement again after what happened, but it seems I do. I'll treasure it, I say as Lou chuckles too. But Lou, I'm not coming back. That kills his laugh, although I am pretty sure there is a little relief in his expression at my revelation. I'm flicking through the contacts in his phone in the back of my head, even as we talk. Don't blame you, Sam, he said, but can't say I'm looking forward to keeping my new rookie partner. I just about had you broken in. I scoffed at him, as expected. You mean I had you trained not to piss me off, I reply. Most of the contacts are coded names, and as I cross-reference the numbers, they're burners. Not suspicious at all, but some ping to interesting connections for a cop. He's been deleting his messages, but he's not as clever as he thinks he is. The data is still there, mostly. What is becoming very clear very quickly as I rifle through the information is Lou is in deep. So much deeper than I expected. I assumed he had panicked when he shot me. After all, Grandma is not a person anyone with sense would want to piss off. But it's becoming clear Lou is much colder than that. I'm guessing it's his big connections that have stopped my relatives from taking revenge. He has bigger balls than I gave him credit for, showing up to visit me with Grandma's people hanging around. You okay, Sam? Lou asks, and I realise I have become too distracted as I root through his emails and find links to all his other accounts. Sorry, I reply, refocusing as well as I can. Just a lot to think about. Grandma offered me a job in her business. I'm going to take it. Live the easy life for a while. Good on you, Lou tells me, and I think he really means it. I suppose not having me in the way will be a weight off his mind. With what I'm finding out, I am realising I have been a royal pain in his butt. What he has no idea about, however, is I'm going to be an even bigger one soon. Leaving behind a little snippet of me that will make his own phone betray him and alert me to everything he does, I withdraw from the device. Can you imagine me behind a desk pushing paper, though? I asked with a grin. What do I know about business? You're related to the boss, Lou replied with a laugh. You don't need to do anything. Just sit back and watch the cash roll in. I'll go mad, I protest. You'll adapt, Lou says. Anyway, I give it 5 months before you're into everything. You're annoying like that. If he only knew how true that is going to be. I'm done with this backward system we live in. This city needs hope. Hell, the whole world needs hope, but I have to start somewhere. I have ideas, lots of them. Grandma's offer will be the perfect safe place to start to be what I've always wanted to be. The system is broken, so I'm going to have to work from the outside. In comic books, superheroes wear costumes, so I'm going to wear one too, only my secret identity is going to be the heir to a crime family. I'm not going to tackle the bad guys in big, flashy battles on the streets. At least not unless my implants get a significant upgrade. Maybe I can find myself a like-minded scientist down the line. But for now, my battleground will be all things tech. To begin with, I'll let them think there is just another hacker on the loose. They can chase their tails trying to track me. I'll have to be careful to give them enough breadcrumbs, but they'll never be able to conceive of what I can really do. I can barely believe it to myself, and I am doing it. I wonder how much I can handle, how far I can take this. Everything so far has felt so easy. As I test myself, I will test them. I'm going to give this city a faceless hero. A few good deeds as I test my abilities and seek out the depths of corruption that run this place, before I can really begin my work. One day I will avenge my father and all the others who have lost their lives to those pulling the strings. I even know what I'm going to call myself. After all, every superhero needs a name, even a virtual one. Get ready, world. Here comes Nano. So, what did you think of Nano? Let me know in the comments. They're going to do some serious shaking up when they get back on their feet properly. We're all so connected these days, so the bad guys will have no chance. Please give the vid some love with a thumbs up and click that subscribe button and the bell icon. You'll never miss any content, and it really helps me and boost the channel. It's totally free. Thank you so much. There is an ebook version of the story on Amazon, etc. if you would like a copy to add to your collection. There is a link in the description, or scan the QR code on screen now. The superhero micro stories from this week are also in the book, but don't forget to check them out on YouTube as well. Each is 1 minute long. As promised, here are the pretty kitties. Thank you for watching, and check out my other stories on screen now, or my links in the description for my other books and blog. I have a newsletter if you'd like some free stuff.